If you've been on the internet for long enough, you will likely recognize the term Frutiger Aero. It depicts an area of design that was ubiquitous during the early 2000s, and for me, a style I didn't really get familiar with. By the time I got a device that I could use to traumatize myself with creepypastas on the internet, Frutiger Aero has already been replaced with minimalism. For the past few years, however, I've come across a lot of Frutiger Aero content here on YouTube and found it pretty interesting. One thing I really wanted to do for a few months now is to try and capture the Frutiger Aero aesthetic in Blender. And here's how it went. Starting off, I worked on the sky and grass to start the foundations of the scene. Most Frutiger Aero designs have a strong blue and green color palette, and the most blue and green thing I could think of was a big blue sky and a few grass hills. The grass is just a hair system which uses this grass object, which is pretty much the same as what they do in Minecraft. I do have a video on my channel which involves texture painting skyboxes, but this time I decided to go fully procedural, using shader nodes. And when I say procedural, I mean just a simple gradient because I don't think Frutiger Aero has any need for a complex sky. Also, I tried making clouds with shaders, but it looked like crap no matter what I did, so I just gave up. Another thing I wanted to try in this render, which I typically don't do, is animate it. So for the grass, I decided to add some wind, and the final result looks pretty good to me. One thing I noticed about Frutiger Aero is the focus on sustainability. So I had the idea of adding wind turbines into the render, which honestly might be my favorite part out of this entire video. I started off by modeling a wind turbine, which took like a few minutes. I thought that making the turbine spin in the correct rotation, even when the base was transformed or rotated, would be problematic, but I found that if I separate the blades and parent it to the wind turbine, I could rotate the entire object and the blades would follow. This also preserves keyframed animations, which was perfect for my case. And here it is in the scene. Like I said earlier, the wind turbines are probably my favorite part about this render, and it just makes the image feel more Frutiger Aero-ish. After adding the wind turbines, I realized they needed to generate power for something, and that is how this city came to be. This city really is just 4 building models I made on some random Tuesday night. Anyways, using perspective to my advantage, I created this illusion of a city which is just a few small floating buildings that lack size consistency. Since one side of my render had a lot of things in it, I had to balance it by adding things to the other side. I decided to add a few trees, which are just hair emitters like the grass, which also had the intended consequence of lagging the hell out of Blender. Anyways, the image is fairly balanced now, but I think the sky is too empty for this render. So I decided to add some goofy lines in the sky, which is something not very Frutiger Aero, but rather Frutiger Aurora. I don't care though, and I'm keeping it because it looks cool. Alright, here's the render so far, and I think it's pretty close to being finished. I decided to add some bubbles next, which use another procedural shader I created for this project. Now, I usually would explain the shader process, but I can't devote too much time to a tutorial for everything in this video because I'm currently working on the mod for Terraria. I am thinking about uploading a few shorts to my channel, which are tutorials for certain things I did in this project though. If you want to see something like that, please let me know in the comments. I need to know if there will be demand for a tutorial before I upload it on YouTube. Anyways, here's the final result. Looks like I'm missing a bit of life, if you get what I mean. I'm referring to the iconic semi-transparent blobby people of Frutiger Aero. Okay, here's the render. Wait, what? Where's the dude? Damn it, I forgot to enable them in the render. Okay, I think we are good now. That was a pretty silly mistake. Oh my god. Okay, now I am done with this project, and actually fixed everything. Enjoy the edit, or the lack thereof. Thanks for watching this far. It means a lot to me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not really a pro at Blender or anything, but I am trying my best to learn. From this project alone, I learned about parenting objects, forces and physics for hair systems, tilting the shape of curves, and a ton about shader nodes. Also, I want to apologize for this video being uploaded a week later than I expected it to be uploaded. I've been having many problems with audio and recording my voice, which made this a living hell. Not only that, but also the number of issues I had with Blender rendering and the file for this Blender project somehow reaching over 500 megabytes made it extremely difficult to finish this video. Despite all this, I'm glad I was able to upload this video. With that being said, I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.